Jyotimai, anybody else to let in? I think there are two other people also waiting to get in.
They are all allowed. I have removed the restriction.
Okay.
They're all allowed.
Fine. So I think, for all those who have already joined in, very warm welcome. We will start in a moment. We will just start in a moment. We will give some, 5 minutes kind of a leeway for people in.
Everyone should mute himself or herself.
Yes.
Unless you are speaking.
So, Shashi, I think we can start in the next 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sharp at 4.
Yeah. I think it's 3:57. Another 4 to 5 minutes, we can start.
Okay, before Sreshi starts, let me set the rule for everyone. If you have any questions to ask, please raise your hand first. And if you have anything to say on the chat box, you can write on the chat box. And keep yourself muted unless you are not speaking.
So again, a warm welcome to everyone, those who have joined in already. We are just waiting for, for the time to get to 4 p.m. and then we'll start off. Thank you for coming in today on a Saturday afternoon or evening, rendering your valuable time. We will start in a moment. Please hold on. So we may start, Shashi. Yeah.
Right. First of all, a very good evening to everybody and welcome to today's webinar, which is jointly organized by the Indian Institute of Management, IIM Calcutta, and VCnow. Thank you for joining us today, and we sincerely appreciate your presence. I'm Shreya Shidivedi from VCnow and your hostess for today's session. Data science is emerging as a transformative force in the business world. It's been hailed as the next big thing that can make or break businesses. It helps organizations uncover hidden insights from raw data to drive better business decisions, enables more personalized experiences, and creates new revenue streams. Everyone is looking for a data scientist with different skill sets and varied responsibilities to handle the huge amount of data they have. Understandably, the demand for data scientists has increased exponentially. For the next about half an hour, our notable IIM Calcutta speakers will discuss how to leverage data science with a business and management acumen with IIM Calcutta's 12-month Advanced Program in Data Sciences, APDS. This webinar will help you understand as to why data science is a must for every business and why data scientists are like modern-day superheroes. To cater to the growing demand for skilled data scientists, IIM Calcutta is launching the 6th batch of its one-year program. This program is designed in collaboration with VCnow to bridge the talent gap that exists in this rather dynamic field. It would be worthwhile to mention that IIM Calcutta is ranked 2nd in India and 59th globally in the Open Executive Education category of Financial Times Global Business School Rankings 2022. Before we start, allow me to briefly introduce you to the 2 professors from IIM Calcutta who are also the program directors for this course. Dr. Debashis Saha is a professor in the MIS Group and Computer Science area at the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta since 2004. He is a PhD in Computer Communication and Networks from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. He was awarded the Best Research Paper Award of Technology and Innovation Management, TIM Division, in the Academy of Management Annual Conference, AOM 2020. His broad area of research interest includes digital business transformation, digital ecosystem, Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, techno-economics of ICT, 4G, 5G network operations, management and security, ICT for development, WDM optical networks, protocol engineering, etc. Moving on to Dr. Manisha Chakrabarty. Dr. Chakrabarty is a professor in economics area at the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, where she joined during 2007. She is a PhD from Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta, and has pursued her Master of Science from University of Calcutta with a specialization in statistics and econometrics. She was awarded with the Best Research Paper Award 2011 in the International Conference on Data Envelopment Analysis and its Application to Management, Centrum Católica, Lima, Peru, during 2011. Her broad area of research interest includes applied econometrics, development economics, and applied finance. I'm extremely appreciative of the professor's willingness to make time for this webinar despite their rather busy schedule. One more quick announcement. At the end of this webinar, we will be hosting a Q&A session. Please make sure to raise your hand if you have a question or type your questions in the chat box. I hope that everyone will make good use of this opportunity to clear their doubts with the program directors. I would also request everyone to kindly keep the mute button on so that we can have a smooth session for the benefit of everyone without any distractions. I will now hand over this forum to Professor Saha.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, let me share my screen first, because I want to show you the PowerPoint presentation. You know, the professors are not very comfortable without PPT. So let me take help of that first. Okay, where is? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Great. So this is the PPT. I have opened it up, and the first slide is already shown by Shreyashi. And thank you, Shreyashi, for a nice and brief introduction. Now, moving to the program, which Shreyashi just now mentioned, it's called Advanced Program in Data Sciences, APDS in short we call it. And it's 12-month long program. As Shreyashi already mentioned, we call it as long duration program in IIM Calcutta. And we are the 2 program directors. Along with me, we have Professor Manisha Chakrabarty as the co-program director. So we'll be looking after this program once you join IIM Calcutta and VCnow for this particular program. To give you a brief idea about what we aim to cover under data science, Now, don't take it as a kind of a class lecture over here, but just to give you an overview what we plan to cover in this 12-month-long program. Number one, data science is interdisciplinary. That you must have noticed in many of these articles and weblogs and many other textbooks. And because it is interdisciplinary, it draws from many disciplines, including management disciplines, economics, statistics, mathematics. And that's why we have lots of the modules covering all these disciplines that Professor Chakrabarty will tell you, and I also will give you some brief idea on that. And data science, what it aims, basically to extract knowledge or insight. We call it as actionable insight from the data available in various forms. So three kinds of data we'll be covering, and they are structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. On the right-hand side, what you see in the diagram is basically the various data sources where from we are drawing the data, like your messages, your emails, your databases, your documents, third-party open data sources. So data science will draw from each and every such data source. And the data can be structured, unstructured, or semi-structured. Then we'll create this data access layer, which can be in the form of data lake. There we create the data models, data mesh, and master data management. And then data scientists, you people are actually sitting on the right-hand side. You will start working on this particular layer. You'll start investigating because you are scientists. So remember, you are not engineers, you are data scientists. So your job is primarily to investigate the data and to find out knowledge or actionable insights. And when you say that various formats of data can be structured, unstructured, or semi-structured, there is another quality of the data, which can be the big data. So in the program, we'll also cover not only small data, we'll also cover medium data and big data. And when it comes to big data, we call it as big data science. The program will start with small data, but it will end up with big data science. As I mentioned, you will not be data engineers, you will be data scientists at the end of the program. And the realm of data scientist actually begins where the realm of data engineering ends. So this is what data engineers typically cover, and this is what typically data scientists will cover. But to make you people aware of this left part little bit, will also cover slightly, but not very extensively, very briefly this part also in one of the modules. But what is this ETL doing? What are these various databases? Where from the business data is coming? In one of the modules, we'll be giving you a glimpse of the left-hand side so that you know that how these two are actually merging over here in the data warehouse. But most of the time, what we'll be doing, we'll be dwelling on this right-hand side. You have aggregations, you have data marts, and how you're consuming data, how you're visualizing the data, analyzing the data, the various use cases. You'll be drawing from the real-life case studies also. And what I mentioned earlier as interdisciplinary, this is probably the diagram you see everywhere on the net. It draws from computer science and IT, draws from maths and stat, it draws from domain and business knowledge. So this is the area, common intersection where data science sits. So to learn machine learning also, software development also, traditional research from maths and stat, and definitely overall, you have to learn where you are going to use this. The domains, the business knowledge. So we'll be covering maths, we'll be covering stat, econometrics, business management, op research, information technology, computer science, and the case studies. Applications, many of you must be well aware of. The myriads of applications span across software and application development till energy or utilities over here. So anything you name in between, the business domains you can observe over there. It can be IT, it can be science and technology, banking, BFSI, retail, FMCG, education, healthcare, government, consulting, telecom, publishing, media. You name any business domain, they need data scientists. And what are the business use cases we shall be talking about? And when we'll be discussing the Capstone project, which is a principal component of this program, probably you'll be answering some of these questions which are asked in the business. Your Capstone project may pick up one such topic over there. For example, identifying and predicting disease, so addressing healthcare, personalized healthcare recommendations, optimizing shipping routes in real time, so transportation and logistics, getting the most value out of soccer rosters. Currently, FIFA World Cup is going on. We can also do a project on that. Finding the next slew of world-class athletes, stamping out tax fraud, fraud detection, anomaly detection, automating digital ad placement in marketing and advertisement, algorithmic trading, algorithms that help you find love in the social domain, predicting incarceration rates, and like this. And because of this wide application area, definitely the job opportunities are almost growing every year. So from April 21, if I look at April 22, in 1 year, it has grown by a whopping 30%. And this number is growing up. And this is the opportunity you should grab by joining the program and then making yourself ready for this. So if you aspire to join this bandwagon, then undoubtedly the APDS of IIM Calcutta is the right vehicle for you. Now, why IIM Calcutta? Sreyoshi already told you about one aspect, couple of more aspects over here. And with this slide, let me hand over to Professor Manisha Chakrabarty, who will be highlighting about IIM Calcutta and other aspects of the program. Over to you, Professor Chakrabarty.
Very much, Professor Saha. And first of all, let me, okay, so I can start sharing my slides then. If you stop, yeah, thank you very much. And first of all, a warm welcome to all the, whoever are there, and you really have come here to listen to us in this Saturday afternoon. And as Sreyoshi already introduced and Professor Saha already gave you glimpses of, that why you should join, and as a data scientist, what you are really aiming for. I'm going to give you some micro details of the program, which might be haunting in your mind. So let me therefore start sharing my screen. Why I can't share the screen? It says only host only.
Now, Adnan, can you share the host rights to Professor Chakrabarty?
Yes, ma'am, you are already host. Can you please share?
I was trying, so then it is not allowing me to do that. Because share screen, when I clicked on that, it says host only or all participants like that. Okay, now let me see. It's not allowing me to screen this.
Okay, we can do one thing, Professor Chakrabarty.
Shaha can actually scroll and then I will go on.
I have allowed now. I have allowed to everyone now. Can you please share again?
Okay, let me see. No, I think must be something, let's not waste time.
I'll share. I'll share.
Hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you, Professor Saha. And Sreyoshi already mentioned about that. So, you know, the IIM Calcutta is really, it's been ranked #1 in the Business Times and Best School Survey of 2021. It's also is 44th in the Financial Times Global MBA ranking for its the MBA executive program. It is also ranked 46th globally among the total 280 business schools ranked in QS World University ranking of 2022. And 53 in the global QS Masters in Management ranking, that is in our MBA program of 2022. So these are showing our academic excellence. And IIM Calcutta is also very much well known for that quantitative, the skills and there's specificities in this quantitative, the knowledge pool of IIM Calcutta. So in which aspect the APDS is really gives you some kind of unparalleled, the knowledge base? Because this program is going to introduce you to the world of data science and its application as well in the various domains. So it's going to, therefore, it's a very right combination and mixture of relevant mathematical techniques, statistical tools, econometrics, data engineering. These are necessary. These are like a fundamental in order to start to being a data scientist. Along with that, the machine learnings, in the today's context, big data analytics. And then it's going to combine with those management practices, so which you are going to utilize in different applications in the relevant industries. And because like a data science program, it's incomplete without the supporting programming knowledge, the software, and therefore it's going to offer you also the data visualization techniques, Tableau, then the programming knowledge because there will be several courses which will be offered using R, then Python, and then the SQL and the Hadoop will also be, that will be also given as a courses here. The focus mainly is on the tools and techniques which are used for handling, managing, analyzing, and interpreting the data. As Professor Shah mentioned to you, you are sitting on the right side of that as a data scientist. And for that, these things are really, really a necessary ingredient. That is how to manage, analyze, and interpret the data. Could you please move on to the next slide? So it covers the basic fundamental quantitative topics such as mathematics and statistics, and then econometrics, and then the stochastic process and simulations in depth. So this is really going to build up the backbone of the data scientist. Though we are not going to focus in specific business domains such as finance, operations, and the marketing, but there will be the few case studies that will be using, the risk analysis in the finance, and then also in the supply chains perspective in the operations management. And because it's much broader in terms of the application areas as a data scientist, we would like to give you some kind of non-business applications too. For example, in the government utilities, in the agricultural field, in the healthcare, that is in the social sectors. So several case studies showing the use of the data science in organizations, which will help the participants to understand the nuisance of the data science in the business in order to generate the business value, as well as in order to add some value to the societies as a data scientist. So as already mentioned by Sreyosi, the VCnow people, these are really led by two of us. I am Professor Manisha Chakrabarty from the Economics Group, and from the Management Information System, Professor Debashis Saha, so who already introduced you to this. Now, coming back to the very, very micro details of the courses and then the structure, that how we are really moving forward with these courses, with this program. So there are basically the 3 modules, and within each module, there will be specific courses. I'm just going in the next few slides. I'm going to give you in the next slide the detail of these courses within these 3 modules. And as Professor Shah already mentioned, and this is really there is a Capstone project component, which where you are going to apply your knowledge in your relative industries where you are working, or in which area you are interested in. So this is really going to give you the opportunity to apply your knowledge base in the relevant context through this Capstone projects. How the sessions would be held, keeping in mind your, occupations, your hectic life. So it's been kept on Sundays from 9:30 to 12:30, and occasionally, because it's a 1-year program and therefore we need to finish it within 1 year, there are certain few week Wednesdays pre-announced. It could be there from 6:30 to 9:30 for few of the Wednesdays in order to cover it within the 1-year span. And along with this, and which I think everybody loves to come here to the campus, this is the compulsory component, and there are 2 campus visits under the, and subject to the normal scenario, means if there is no war, there is no pandemic or all those kind of things. So it is a compulsory part, this 2 campus visit, and I know that everybody would love to come here at IMC. So this is the program structure. Move on to the next slide, please. So as I told you, I'm going to give you the names of within the 3 modules. So the first module, which is really the, the building block of this data science, this is really the fundamentals. And here we are going to offer, first we are going to start that in order to be a data science, you first need to know what it implies to be a data science. So understanding data science. Then we start with statistics and the mathematics, which are really the basic fundamental courses. And then what it means to be like, where because of the different layers of the data, different complexities of the data, we need to know how to manage the databases and the data warehousing, the storage of the data, because from there you are going to analyze, you're going to interpret. So these things will be taught first, and these are called our module 1. Then we come to module 2, where basically the tools and techniques which you need in order to interpret the data. For example, therefore, the visualizations and the analysis that will come. Then the programming tools, for example, R and SPSS. Then the econometric methods, which is also one of the methods or techniques to handle with the small and the medium-sized data. And then the stochastic process and the simulations, because you need to really do lots of simulations in order to, replicate some kind of the real life scenarios there. So these are within our module 2. And then we come to the last part of our program, that is the module 3, where you will really start to know that whatever you understood from the basic backbone, from the fundamentals and from the methods and the tools, how you're going to have this business acumen, the intelligence and there are the few, the areas which we aim to cover, that is the pricing strategy, the supply chain, the logistic, the risk factor in the financial market there. And obviously, in order to do those things in the today's context, the big data matters because we do have the lots of accessibility of the big data in terms of the frequency, in terms of the, the coverage, in terms of the volume, etc., etc. So that will be covered. And in order to really therefore tackle with all these things, because of such a structured as well as the unstructured, and because of the volume, machine learning tool is being quite widely used nowadays, the deep learning as well as the machine learning. And these will be really, it will be offered with you in using the Python programming. And then we will end with the advanced topics like Industry 4.0, the advanced topics in the data science. So these are the main themes. And along with that, that's the Capstone projects, where it is expected that you will form your groups with 6 to 7 participants per group. And each of the group will have to find an industry project on this data science, and you are going to work with it. And we will give you the, in whatever, based on the direction, based on the topic, we are going to give you a faculty mentor who will guide you throughout your, the project, which will be, you will be presenting in the campus when you come for the campus. So first of all, your brief should be ready initially, that you are going to present in front of the directors, and then we are going to give you the feedback, and based on that, then the faculty mentors will be associated with you, and with the help of them, you are going to finish your Capstone projects, where you really have a kind of, you can utilize the knowledge which you are gaining here. That's a hands-on, the practical experience. Next one, please. And as I mentioned to you, the 2 campus visits, which are compulsory and for the 1-year program here. And during the campus visit, you'll be required to stay at the IMC campus, and the boarding and the lodging that will be arranged by the IMC. We do have a very good, the Management Development Center, the MDC, and there you will be staying here. And for that, a separate fee will be charged, and you will be able to see the serene atmosphere at IMC, which really boasts of is, the lakes, trees, and migratory birds as well. So the next one, please. Yes, now coming to the most important part, that you really have to appear for all the examinations, and your results will be treated as incomplete. So you won't get the successful completions if you are not going to really, appear and clear the examinations. Capstone projects are also graded. So therefore, you see the importance of the projects there. And examinations will occur for almost all the courses which I referred in these 3 modules, except some courses such as understanding the data science, business intelligence, etc. And minimum 66% attendance is mandatory in each of the courses within each module. Otherwise, that you will not get the kind of, the completion certificate there. If your attendance is less than 66%, your results will be treated as incomplete. And for the campus visit, as I mentioned, 100% attendance is mandatory. Okay, so next one, please. And most importantly, all the participants of APDS, after your successful completions, you will enjoy the alumni status of their long duration programs. It's called the IMC Executive Education Alumni Status. And that's really going to open up your networking opportunities, because now particularly in the digital world, this networking actually can take you to a next level, which is really beyond imagination, the way the pace is going on. So therefore, this is really going to open up your lucrative career opportunities also, who, if you would like to, accelerate, move on to your career growth path. But however, we would also like to mention that we don't arrange for any other specific placement assistance to be provided to the participants for this long duration programs here. And who are eligible, who can apply? Definitely the working professionals with the graduate and the post-graduation degree with 3+ years of experience. You can apply, who really would like to apply these things, this knowledge, and who are working in this, your industry, your respective industry, working as a data analyst. And you should have a basic understanding of mathematics and statistics. That is preferable, because that's going to really help you to grasp these topics much faster. But the programming knowledge is not essential for this course, as already been highlighted here. So the thing is that the working as a data analyst is preferred. The applications of the analyst, basic understanding of mathematics and statistics, the basic ones, these are really preferable, as well as your background in the quantitative techniques and the data analytic tools, that will be preferred. So these are all which I would like to tell you, and thank you very much for coming here. And now we are eagerly waiting for the Q&A sessions here.
Thank you so much, Professor Shah, Professor Chakrabarty, for your insightful details on the program. I think you both have carefully taken deep insights into the program, and people will have a fair idea of the framework. I will also share the other dynamics of the program, in a nutshell, as a summary, so that you can encapsulate the program details also, and you can further on take a decision on your joining or applying to this coveted program. Sheshi, if you can share the screen of the summary. So just to summarize the program as a snapshot, the program title or the certificate title would be Advanced Program in Data Sciences. This is the 6th cohort. We have already, delivered 5 batches. The 5th one is ongoing and it is nearing completion. So this would be the new batch which will be formed. Duration of the program is going to be 12 months. Your eligibility for anyone to apply would be a graduation with minimum 50% marks and minimum 3 years of work experience after graduation. Selection would be definitely through evaluation of online application and statement of purpose. Our esteemed program directors will evaluate each profile and they will take a decision on the selection of the applicant. The delivery mode is a blended one, which means that as Professor Chakrabarty stated, that there are 2 campus components comprising of 10 days of engagement of face-to-face sessions, and but the entire program otherwise will be on live online direct to desktop mode or direct to device mode, wherein you can access the classes from anywhere you are through your laptop. Session timings, Sundays 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and few select sessions will be held also on Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Campus visit would be for 10 days, as I said. Application, the deadline for this cohort would be December 7. Session commencement would be January, but our tech orientation and other activities would commence from December onwards itself, during the later part of December. Alumni status, as already mentioned, once you complete the program successfully, you are bestowed with the IIM Calcutta Executive Education Alumni status. While you apply online, you need to make a payment of 2,500 plus GST on the application portal. And after that, after your application is evaluated, if you are selected, then you have to go ahead with the first installment payment within a given deadline of, about 10 to 12 days after you received the offer letter from VCnow and IIM Calcutta. Total fee for the program is 4,70,000 plus GST, which can be paid in 4 parts. So this is in a nutshell about the program, because these are obvious questions that you might have in mind. So we thought of clarifying this. In fact, after the webinar, our team will also share with you the detailed brochure over mail, so that you can go through it and get an access to our people who are there. So without wasting much time, we will share the details of the contacts during the end of the webinar. But right now we will open up for the Q&A. And if you have any questions, you can either raise your hand or speak up. If you have not posted anything on the chat, any postings on the chat, Sheshi? You can remove the slides.
No, so can you
Yeah.
show the slide over there? I mean, one point I just want to clarify.
Yes,
Professor
yes.
Chakrabarty, is it the campus visit 5+5 or 3+3?
Hmm,
It's 5+5.
5, this time it
You can
was
say
3+3, no?
Sheshi, can you?
For this batch, yes. For this batch, actually, ma'am, it is 5+5 for this batch. As compared to the last batch, there is a slight difference in the campus duration and yes,
Okay, this
there has
APDS,
been a change. For
yeah,
the 6th cohort, yes.
for the 6th cohort.
Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes, ma'am.
I see, Nirav raising his hand.
Go ahead. Nirav.
Nirav.
And also there are something in the chat box.
Yes.
First of all, someone said, will you be teaching Python? Yes, as I mentioned, Python in the machine learning program, the Python will be used. And yes, I think I would, yes, that is the one, no, Professor Shah?
Yeah, Python will be taught. Yes, Python
Yeah,
will be taught, definitely.
And then what else? Any?
I will check the chat. Okay. And
And
we can directly have the questions if you want.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I think, there was something, yes, the programming language, mainly the usage are R and Python. I think Kevin Richards wrote something there. Yes. Then now there are some raised hands. Shreyusi, you may actually handle, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Someone wanted to ask questions.
Yeah, I think we can start with Nirav. Nirav, if you can go ahead with your query.
Yes. Nirav, please go ahead with your query.
Thank you so much. And first of all, thanks a lot, professors, for a good introduction. It was quite insightful. So my question is, the course has compulsory campus visits. So do we already know as to what time of the year would the campus visits be?
Normally it happens like when we start within like 1 month or 2 months. So normally it happens in the month of April, the first one, and the last one towards the end when you are ready with your project. So therefore it is expected like it was in December, if I'm not wrong, Professor Shah.
Yeah, it was in November.
Yeah, because this time it will start in January, so maybe it will be in December then.
One at the beginning and one at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, and one last thing, would you advise this course to someone who's not based in India at the moment? Given that, the person can manage to visit India for the campus visits?
Every cohort has such participants, so you can join without any second thought.
So in terms of eligibility, there won't be any issues. My application would not be rejected on those grounds if it were to come down to that.
Said anything about the location? Did we say?
No.
No, I mean-
from anywhere in the world can join.
Anywhere in the
Okay.
world, from where the internet access is there.
Okay, that's relieving. Thanks a lot, professors.
So
Thank you.
Nirav, we are just glad to share that in every cohort we have international participants, for this program.
Yes.
And I think at least 5 or 6 people from each batch would be either from Singapore or any other part of the world. The only condition that we keep very clearly is that during the campus, you have to be at the campus. So without the campus session being attended in person, the certification would not be complete, right? So that's very essential. So if you have made up your mind being in any part of the world, you are most welcome to join the program, provided our program directors select you. Yeah.
Thank you
It's
so much.
more on location, that we can assure.
Yes.
That's relieving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sumeli, you may please come ahead with your query. Sumeli Biswas.
Hi. Hello. Good evening to all. First of all, thank you, Professor Saha and Professor Chakrabarty, for giving us such a nice insight. And I was actually looking out for something like this. I just have one question for both of you. Now, basically, I am from an automotive background. Now, I have done my graduation in aerospace, and then I moved into automotive. So I don't have any knowledge in data science. And in your last slide, Professor Chakrabarty, you said that working profession, I have 8 years of experience. Graduation, I have more than 50%. So those criteria match for me. But you said it's preferred to have a quantitative techniques or a data analytics tool knowledge that I don't have. And as a data analyst, I've never worked. Currently, yes, I'm learning a bit of Python, and whatever we are utilizing in our company to automate stuff. About the vehicles that we are getting into, which is a driverless vehicle. So for that is my major reason that I want to learn this, so that I can completely get into automation using AI, ML. That is my major goal. Yeah, maybe after this, I don't want to leave the automotive field, but basically I don't have any experience in it. Now, being an engineer, definitely mathematics we have already learned. So basic knowledge of mathematics, definitely I have. So do you suggest this course for me? That is my one and only question.
Yeah, you should. Because when we said preferred, it means that we are not excluding anyone who is not having those skills. But when you mention
Okay.
you are an engineer,
Yes.
I can assume that yes, you have quantitative skills, you have basic understanding of math, stats, and you have some idea about programming. So that is sufficient.
Not a very big idea on programming, I am sorry,
No,
but
No, by
Yeah,
basic
because
idea, how the programming languages work.
yes,
that's all.
definitely, because we do crash analysis, so everything is on the software itself.
Yeah.
But building a program, I have never done it before.
No, you
that,
did not do
not
it over here also.
Yeah, we are not doing it here also, like, making you as a programmer. That's now not the aim. It's basically the software. It's basically the use of these things. And if you remember in the last line of the slide, I said that programming knowledge is not.
It's not required, correct. But what bugged me a little bit was this data analytics knowledge is preferred, which I don't have.
Preferred.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
not mandatory or
Yes,
compulsory.
yes,
And
absolutely.
also, particularly, I would like to tell you the way, the industry where you are,
Yes,
this is really, really very much needed, where you are
exactly,
is going to
exactly.
utilize it in much more, intensively rather than maybe any other person. So in your area, this is very much.
Very much required, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye, good day.
Bye, same to you.
Bye.
Thank
Saurav Kesarwani, you may please come up with your query.
Good evening, Professor Saha and Professor Chakrabarty. I'm coming from banking background and having almost 15 years into retail banking, which is called branch banking in a leading private bank in Bombay. Now, I ask you because now this is the buzzword, data analytics, a lot of push from the top management also to go for a typically 1 year kind of a program where it's a immersive learning where you have to do on campus as well as online both. So while I am really committed that I want to do this course, but practically, frankly speaking, I want to do, but in a retail banking environment, I am handling branch banking, so many people management. Where do I apply this? I will do the course, I will apply myself, do everything. But where will it help me in terms of my practical application? Or it's just a course for a learning perspective, and we will see that in future how it applies. So can you give me some perspective that from especially retail banking domain, will it be handful, or is the course really applied, or we need to do something different?
So what is your major challenge when you're handling retail banking as a branch manager? I guess you're saying you're a branch manager, or maybe hidden.
So I am a regional head where I handle around say 100 plus branches. My real issue is that a lot of data is coming from top management. We use a lot of CRM, and I need to consume that data and make my team understand it and plan in a better way so that I can sell right product to my customer and in definite time period. So
How do you find out? How do you find the right product for the right customer segment? What technique do you use currently?
So I typically we use CRM tools where
that is CRM, customer relationship management. I'm talking
correct.
about
So
data analysis.
In data, what happens? There is there are a lot of data which is being thrown to branch managers saying that these are the set of customers who will need general insurance, life insurance, or TD. You go and sell them. They have higher propensity. They have higher balances. Somebody has done investment, so sell mutual fund. Some triggers they get some triggers, and basis those triggers they give very customized data set where we go and pitch. So that's the way.
What is the conversion rate there? 30%, 40%, 50%?
Typically, it is around 15 to 20%.
So will that work? Do you think in today's world it's going to work based on this kind of triggers? You are just targeting some people and then 15 of them, 20 of them are converting when your competitors are converting 70% based on data analytics and data science?
Yeah, I think it's not working. It's not working, and that's a challenge. And maybe from a skill set perspective, we want to see that what better can happen to us, or what new skill set we can learn to maybe have a better return on time investment and better return on the effort that we are doing.
Yes. So there are already modules over here in this program. Professor Chakrabarty talked about that. We have from marketing our professors, we have professors from finance, we have professors from operations, we have professors from supply chain. They'll tell you exactly what you need to do. And you can actually pick up this problem, what we just now discussed, as one of the Capstone project topics.
Yeah, understood. Understood, Professor.
Where you will be able to use some statistical methods like all the categorical data analysis and econometric methods also to predict, because in for like a data analysis, a prediction is very much required using the appropriate techniques. So these are the things which you will be able to grasp in this program.
And as the regional head, you should be knowing what is the right question to ask to your data science team. So you need not do the data science yourself. You'll be given a data science team if it is not there. I hope it is already there, but you should.
It is there. It is there.
Yeah, but then the problem, what I can see is you do not know what is the right question to ask.
Correct. Correct.
So then you have to join this program to understand how to ask the right question.
Right, Professor. I understood. I understood that. Yeah, this will help maybe sharpen our thinking and approach to ask right question and get right data set.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Professors, we have a question in the chat box from Vinish Vincent. He
Can
asked.
you complete on this side and then go to the chat box? Because I have
Absolutely.
separate
Sure,
private
sure.
queries also there.
Sure. Okay. All right, sure. I would request Arik Viradana to please come up with his query.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm not from India, and I'm so interested to join this program. I don't have any Python background, but I do make an application with a Java. Is it impossible to join this program? And besides, I'm not from India as well. I'm from another country.
So do you qualify according to the eligibility criteria? 50% in the graduation and 3+ years of experience. Can you hear me, Arik?
Okay. Yeah, I do. Sorry. I'm still a student in one of the best university in Indonesia, and I'm really interested. I just found this program in the web, so I joined the webinar to know this program more, and I'm so excited to learn data science. So that's why I joined this program.
No, I'm asking, do you have 50% marks in your graduation?
Yes.
Okay, and you have 3+ years of experience?
No,
I do. I make an application with a Java, but not a Python. But I heard that data analysis is using Python.
You are working with some company, organization?
Organization.
You are working with some organization, or you are
Yes.
working on your own?
No, organizations.
So you have, how many years you are working with that organization?
I've been working for 2 years and almost 3 years.
3 years or almost 3 years?
2 years and a half.
Well, then you are falling short by 6 months. Probably you can join the next batch.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sushant Shekhar.
Yeah, hi. Thanks a lot, professors, for this webinar. Actually, I'm an MBA from IMC myself, and I saw this message somewhere. And yeah, and I had put the question in the chat box, but I guess it is not required now. My question was also, someone else also asked that there is a lot of talk about data science and the future. And I had worked in corporate banking after my MBA there in Mumbai and Delhi. And
can I ask which batch?
14. Yeah, 14.
14. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I was in corporate banking, and there was a lot of automation of things happening and things like that. So I moved to the Netherlands after that, and now I'm into impact investing. And the typical career path of an MBA, as you know, is like we could be investment managers, we could be funding SME banks ourselves, and it's not typically going towards data. But then I feel a need to align myself with the next big thing called data. And I am not sure if I go through a course like this and learn programming, how would it help a guy like me who has 4, 5, 6 years of post-MBA experience? And I'm not looking to do coding. I'll be very honest. I'm a very front-end, but I mean, I would like to do those kind of roles in which you are not exactly sitting behind a computer and coding. But I am not sure how I can transition myself to a career in data. Am I clear in my question, sir?
Yes. So first of all, let me clarify that we are not asking for any coding skills over here. What we are looking at is basically, suppose if you are asked to do something on R, we'll teach you what is R and how to install R and how to work with R. So these are basically softwares, like your Excel, you probably working with that kind of software. So R is basically a kind of such software, and you'll be learning how to use that particular software. And Python is not a programming language per se, I'll tell you frankly, honestly speaking. And anybody can learn Python any day. So given 2 or 3 days time, anybody can learn it. And nowadays, everybody is learning that. So as such, no coding will be required over here. What will be needed is basically, suppose a set of data, we will show you that how we'll be handling that set of data. Now, to handle the set of data, you need either Excel or some similar software, isn't that?
Yeah.
But today, Excel cannot handle this kind of data. There are so much of limitations with Excel. So rather than Excel, we'll be showing you that how you can handle this kind of data with the help of R first, and what kind of insights you can generate by using R. And then when R will be failing a little bit, with the, in the case of big data, we shall be moving towards Python, and we'll show you that how powerful Python is to generate insights from that particular set of data. It's not about coding.
Yeah, my only concern is that how can I like translate this into my career path? Because if I am that guy who is crunching data and deriving insights, for example, in my role, even in my company now, there is a team of like data people who are typically of a very different background than ours, who basically do this. So for example, we use ClickSense and instead of Excel, and we use like nice visualization tools using ClickSense. And I can do that as well because I have done some R and ClickSense and these kind of things. But I'm just wondering if this course or something like formal education in this can lead to something substantial, which is like coming in line with my career, because I don't see myself working where a typical data person is working vis-a-vis, crunching data. How can it translate to a more like suitable role?
We don't see either. As I mentioned already once, I was speaking to the participant just before you, that we do not want you to crunch data. You'll be having a backup data science team. Every organization has it now.
Yeah.
Point here is that most of the time, the top managers or the middle managers, they do not know what is the right question to ask that. Since you talked about investment, currently what is happening, a lot of these companies are coming up with robo-advisors. I am pretty sure you heard about those. The small cases. In India, it's pretty dominant now in the name of small cases or brief cases. So those are basically investment packs created by the robo-advisors.
Okay.
These robo-advisors are basically some robotic programs, robotic automation programs, and where if you know what is the right kind of question to ask, given a particular, let's say, profile, HNI profile, what will be the ideal portfolio? That's a very big question, isn't that?
Yeah.
From the investment perspective. So how do you then analyze data to find out answer for this? What is the question? The data will be with your data science team. You are handling your HNI client, but how will you interface between these two by translating the demand from the HNI to your data science team and then taking it back to the HNI?
Yeah. So as I understand, like business analytics is different from data analytics, and probably I should be looking for something which is more focused on business analytics, which is basically using data to derive insights. And how does this program do you see like it can help me in doing that?
Business analytics is a subset of data analytics.
Yeah, which is like more focused for MBAs like us.
And we will be covering business analytics here also as a part of data analytics or data science. Data analytics is also part of data science. So data science is a superset. Under that, you are having data analytics. Under that, you have business analytics.
Yeah, and what kind of roles are there, sir? When you,
because you have seen there is a business intelligence, one of the courses where because then you will be able to apply it in different areas of the businesses. Because being an MBA, you already have a kind of insights of the business. So now from the kind of, if you have that knowledge of the data science as well, then you know that which questions to be asked, which is going to add the value to your organization from a business perspective, given the current demand.
Yeah, but what kind of roles are there, man, basically? Because like if you do finance, you become a corporate banking, you have an associate, then you become a relationship manager. If you do something else, private equity, you have your own vertical. But for someone who has
not specific
already
role, not specific role, what the organizations are currently now saying is data-driven decision making, isn't that?
Yeah.
So everybody is saying that our managers should be data-driven. How to become data-driven?
Okay.
And in today's world, if you are not taking data-driven decision making, then you are missing out on Just now we discussed 15% to 70%. That chunk you're missing out, 50 to 55.
Yeah. So
That's
it's like
where-
something that you have to build yourself in your resume, and
Yes, it's a must
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's on the board agenda, and we are seeing so many top managers, top leaders are coming to IIM Calcutta, not in this program, but in other programs also, to be data driven.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Thank you, lot. Thanks a lot, Professor Saha. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are a few more questions.
Anupam Manna.
Anupam Manna. Yes. Anupam.
Good evening, Professor Saha and Professor Chakrabarty. Thank you for your wonderful presentation in front of us. Thank you very much. I have one question. Being an IT professional, I'm being more than 10 years experience in IT itself. And I have the data management background as well, working with the different data integration tools, and also what you are talking about. My concern is how it will help me, how this course will help me to move forward.
I will say not move forward, but I will say from moving from left to right. You remember my slide?
Yeah.
Where data engineering ends and data science begins?
Yeah, correct. Yes, sir.
So it's moving from left to right.
Yeah, sir, more about the business intelligence, data analytics, or maybe business analytics, as you said. That's good. But sir, at this moment, I mean, in the current industry, I have also set up the question in the chat. I don't think it is now required. Anyways, so now the different services from the clouds are also available from AWS, from Azure, right? They are also giving the data integration services, the analytics services, right?
Yes.
So like Power BI, right? So we are covering here as R, right? Similar to that. So I mean, basically in the industry, the requirement is based on the specific experience, right?
Yes.
I understand. I mean, the managerial skills is different. The technical architecture skill is different. Okay. So as a data scientist, if I don't know the different services from the clouds currently available, how can I apply these? I can apply the knowledge of the how to integrate the data, that's fine. How to governance that is also good. How to, I mean, do the analytics, okay. How the data has to be maybe categorized or what. I mean, I know, I mean, all the techniques I think you will be covering in this course.
Now, suppose I tell you the answer in a slightly different manner. Now, suppose you go to a bookshop and you want to purchase a book on data science.
Yeah.
They will show you, let's say, 10 books. How will you choose which one is right for you at this point, given your background that you mentioned?
If the book is glittering much, I mean, if coloring is good, then I will purchase that book. If covers, I mean,
that's the difference. After doing the course, you will be not looking just at the cover. You will be going inside, look at the table of contents. Because then your TOC will make some sense. Right at this point, it's not making any sense. And you'll be able to pick up the right book, which will take you forward. Now translate it to the cloud service. There are so many cloud services from Amazon, from Microsoft, from Google. Do you know which one to subscribe for? At this point?
That's the big question, sir. That's why, I mean, everybody is giving the similar type of services, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So that is why you have to go through this course. At the end of the course, you'll be pretty sure, okay, this service I want, I'll be bargaining with Microsoft, I'll be bargaining with Amazon, I'll be bargaining with Google, and let's see who can cater to my requirement perfectly well, and then I'll pick up.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we don't have any coverage on the cloud integration part, right?
Little bit, but not much. Because that is typically done by your, I mean, you are doing this, no, day in and day out.
Correct.
And that may not be needed by others also. But we link it to data management and data integration, definitely.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
you very much.
Request Bhavin Nayak to come ahead with his query, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, professors, for this wonderful presentation. Yes, I have went through one of the presentation available on the web somewhere earlier also, right? So my particular query is on, I mean, BI tool, different BI tool which are available for data analytics, right? So one which you have mentioned here is probably Tableau, right? But now what we see is, I mean, definitely Tableau is the leader when it comes to data analytics. Tableau, ClickSense, and Power BI. But what I have observed is Power BI is market leader. And to use Power BI, the programming language behind that is DAX, and DAX probably, if I pronounce correctly. So how will you, I mean, guide on that? Whether this will be limited to Tableau and Python only, or after doing this course, we'll be able to use, Power BI, and we'll be able to guide the team on DAX as well.
Okay, so Bhavin, which role you are currently in?
Yeah, so I'm a finance controller.
Okay, now, I mean, you said a couple of sentences over there, and technically speaking, you mixed up a couple of things, which is probably not clear to you. Okay, let me clarify. Number one, Tableau and Power BI are visualization tools. They are mere visualization tools. They will not help you much on the analytics side.
Okay.
Analytics, what you generate to visualize that for the managers who are non-technical, they typically use Power BI and Tableau. We talked about Tableau because we do not get into all these softwares currently available in the market. We just take up one and tell you that this is how you should use this. So once you are, let's say, comfortable with Tableau, you can just handle Power BI and others. And we don't want to use Power BI from the programming language perspective because you are a manager. The visualization that will be coming in front of you, you should be able to take decision based on that. We will be talking much more beyond visualization. We'll be talking about analytics. We'll be talking about big data. We'll be talking about econometrics. We'll be talking about predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, machine learning techniques. At the end of the day, post-analysis, again, you'll be needing some visualization tool to be presented in front of you as a manager.
Okay. Fair enough. One more question I have. I mean, I just wanted to know the average experience of the batch. I mean,
that I guess Pulak will be able to tell. For other cohorts, what is the average experience?
Yes.
I think 8+, no? 8
yes, yes, absolutely, precisely. So what Professor Saha said is correct. 8 to 10 is the average, the batch size, year on year. And generally, our batches are pretty diverse in terms of industry, in terms of the band of experience. We even had people with an experience pool of 25 years also into our program. So I think learning is not limited to a specific set of people, but even after getting into larger roles also, you need to know the data connect. You need to establish, knowledge base for yourself for data, science or analytics, whatever you call it as pretty well explained by Professor Shah and Professor Chakrabarty as well. So you can, on an average, if you take a mean average of the last 4 or 5 batches, it will be around 10 as an average batch experience.
Are you convinced, Bhavin?
Yeah, definitely. It answered my question. Thank you.
100% or 90%?
As when it comes to DAX, I trust you what you explain, right? Because my research is limited probably. So I'll go with what you have told, right? I trust you more.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And once you do the course, you'll be much more confident than I am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Anubhav Mitra, you may please ask your question.
Good evening, professors. This is Anubhav. I'm audible, I guess.
Yes,
So,
you're audible. You're loud and clear.
Professor Shah and Professor Chakrabarty, the question I have is, presently, like after listening to everybody, I can understand that I am the youngest in the batch as of now. So I work in Amazon as a senior compliance associate and work on their ML engine. So basically, I deal with a lot of data, but I mainly deal with all those data on the Excel sheets. And there are certain things that I would love to learn, so that I can use the knowledge of data science and like be more productive with my work. Also, I want to apply for the data scientist position that the Amazon has. So being the youngest, and I can see there are a lot of people with a lot of experience, what are the things I should be preparing myself for, so that I can cope up with everybody's, because I'm being young, I have a little bit of knowledge gap. The experience that they might be having, the experience that I have, there is a gap. So how can I prepare myself so that I can be more productive and accelerate my learning in this batch? Although I would just like to inform that I have been selected for this batch, but this question was bugging me from the beginning. So I wanted to know this from you.
So Anubhav, the first question Professor Shah would like to know is that how young you are.
I'm like, in terms of experience, I have 6 years of experience now. I'm 29.
You are absolutely not young then. So you are already into the game. So
okay.
See,
Okay.
I will clarify one thing. While we say 8 to 10 as an experience band, you have to remember that the horizon of the or the bandwidth of the average being taken is from a younger generation to a guy who is almost 25, 30 years old. So your mean average will be like that only. But yes, I mean, while we have people who are into the middle stages of their career, we also have youngsters also who are into this program, and not one, pretty quite many, because generally the batch dimensioning is of almost 80, 85. So you generally will have a lot of youngsters like you who will be a part of this program. So not to worry about that.
And
I'm sorry. I mean, this was to be responded by Professor Saha. I took the opportunity to respond.
No issues. No issues. No issues.
No, and also we will be giving some pre-reading materials also. So why before we start, and if you are feeling that, yeah, you can have those things. This is really going to prepare you to start with our basic fundamentals kind of thing. I think Professor Shah also wants to add something here. Yeah.
Anubhav, there is no substitute for experience. And the only way you can gain something from your senior experts over there in the cohort is by rubbing shoulders with them.
Okay.
When you'll be joining, I hope you'll be rubbing more and more rather than others, so that you can get something out of their gray hairs. And that is the only way. And that is probably the best way.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. See you.
See you. And now maybe few questions from the chat mode. Sayoshi, you will be able to tell us?
Yes, definitely. So I think we had a query from Mr. Vincent about the fact whether SQL plays a role in this program. That was the first query.
Yeah, SQL does not play much role over here. We'll be just touching upon SQL because it is one of the starting points through which you get the data from your typical database. So it has a very, very minor role to play, maybe just half day. Out of these 12 months, it will be covered in half day or less than half day.
Right. Moving on to the next query in the chat box. This query was raised by Riddhi Jain. She says, I'm a doctor by profession, and during my post-graduation, I go through the research and they all required knowledge of data sciences, but I do not have experience of 3 years, but I have done research and internship. Is the criteria fulfilled on the basis of my experience?
No.
It is not, yes.
We need 3+ years experience with some reputed organization.
Right, yes. The next query is from Debanjan. He writes, Dear professors, I am a CRM architect professionally engaged to Vodafone UK PLC. My other question is, 1-year certificate program enough to grab the interesting subject, or a diploma program of 2-year would be more comprehensive to leverage into decision-making roles?
See, 2 years, if you want to spend in a regular program, I guess you're talking about a regular 2-year program. If you can afford that, yes, honestly speaking, that will be much better. But this is typically for those practitioners who do not want to leave the job and at the same time want to do a certificate program. So Debanjan, are you there? Then you can come online and tell us exactly what you are trying to say. Yeah, Debanjan is there, I think. Debanjan, can you come on here?
Can you say something, Debanjan, here?
What are the options?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, myself Debanjan. I'm sorry, professors. Sorry, I've been traveling for some time. So please excuse the background noise.
No, go ahead.
I was
I mean,
listening
what
on
are the
mute.
options you are mulling about?
Yes. So actually, I've been researching this for some time now, and it's playing back of my mind. Like, if I don't want to offend the such a premier institute by taking other names, but there are some other institutes per se
No,
who.
I don't want you to name. Just
Yeah.
want to understand. You want to quit your job and do 2 years full time?
No, not really. I can't afford that at the moment. But at the same time, what I feel is like if I don't go into the depth of a subject, so will it really make sense to because I've been in the typical IT industry for almost 15 years now. Yeah. So this is
For
I
working
know.
professionals, so to cut you short, Debanjan, for working professionals, 1 year is sufficient. And we'll give you enough depth. Okay, there will be 4 classes, 4 sessions per module at least. We'll give you probably 1 or 2 books, and we'll tell you how to go or how to dive deep. If you want to dive deep, you can definitely dive deep. Otherwise, doing 1 year part-time or 2 years part-time, if you ask me, based on my experience, it doesn't matter.
All right. So if I may add, may I ask the other question? Yeah, like what are the typical case studies or the use cases, the problems that can be solved? I mean, not just the predictive part or the decision-taking part of any problem, but
we'll be handling case studies from Fortune 500 companies.
All right, that's great, sir. Okay, that satisfies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a query from Jyoti Rotela. She asks, I have some experience in data analytics and management. One of the topics that would be covered is stochastic processes and stimulation. Simulation, yes, there's a typo, right? I want to understand if the topics are industry specific. That is her query.
Definitely. I think Professor Chakrabarty can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I think because Professor, yes, the simulation studies are definitely industry specific kind of things.
Last time, can you tell them the project one of the group did on this? I think that was on energy sector, the simulation and stochastic modeling they did to find out probably the machine failures, no, if you remember.
The patient failures or the time?
Machine failure or something like that, no?
So yes, but yes, Professor Bashu guided them.
So that is the kind of problem you'll be handling over there. There are industry specific problems where you should apply stochastic process do some simulation, come up with answers for the questions like how long I should test the machine. I think to
Yes.
test the failure rate of the machine.
Failure rate of the machines, yes. So definitely, and it could be applied in other areas as well.
Yes.
Yeah, then Shreyasi, any
Yes,
other?
yes, we do have 2-3 more queries available on the chat box as of now. Mahesh Safkur asks, I'm a communications engineer with over 30 years of experience in DOT/BSNL and metro rail projects in India. Of course, without programming experience, but would like to have a change in my career to be active in the industry or contribute myself in startups like companies involved in manufacturing drones. Preferred 1-year program. I think he wants to ask what should be the preferred 1-year program for him, because this is somehow incomplete at the end.
The question.
Mahesh, are you there? I mean, I think he's there. Okay, he has again added, question was, would the course on data science be helpful for me?
Definitely, yes.
Yes. What he's doing currently, he wrote down something, no?
Yes. So he writes, he's a communications engineer with over 30 years of experience in DOT, BSNL and metro rail projects in India without programming experience. He would like to change his career path, I suppose. That is
You don't need programming language, but definitely you can switch. In telecom, actually, we need data science very much nowadays.
Nowadays, very much.
Yes.
It's also one has to keep in mind that this program, so you are going to mix, as Professor Saha has shown it to you, the computer science knowledge as well as the data analysis, data interpretation on all these things. So this is like data scientist does not mean only a computer scientist. So if you are thinking like a telecom industry, maybe in this site, it's not that. It's a combination. It's a combination of all these insights pulls, the tools and the techniques and the methodology that will come up at a much more productive way. I think there is another Joyashree Mohapatra. She's a teacher. Have you seen that, Shreyasi, or not?
Yes. Coming to that, yes. So Jayashree Mohapatra asks, good evening, respected professors and team. Would you suggest this course for me as I am in the teaching profession, education teachers training? Will this course be helpful for me? That is a question. That is the last question as of now. Yes.
So may I know her background? Is she around?
Jayashree, are you there? I'll just check. Yes, she is logged in as yet. Jayashree, would request you to please come ahead with your query.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Currently, I am working with NCERT at PSS Central Institute of Vocational Education as assistant professor. So this is teachers training. I'm from education background. So I would like to know how can this course be helpful for me? Or
has it been already included in your syllabus, CBSE?
No, actually, I'm working in the field of vocational education. So I keep hearing about this Internet of Things.
No, I think Python has already been added, isn't that?
Yes, these things are there.
So in the last revision, I have heard about Python getting added, and very soon probably NCERT will bring in data science as one of the subjects, optional subjects.
Yes, sir. So what would you suggest for me?
But she's a teacher for the vocational training also. So there, I think this part will come in the vocational training.
Very soon it will come.
This computer science and these things are included, means industrial revolution 4.0. I keep hearing these terms, but I don't have any knowledge about these as I am completely from education background. Mainly teachers training, Bachelor of Education, B.Ed, M.Ed are my students.
Okay.
So if you want to stay ahead of your peers, then I think you should.
Yeah.
I thought about the program and I will Definitely
What would
congratulate you on that.
any mathematics course in up to class 12, Jayashree?
Yes, ma'am. I had science, so basic mathematics, yes, but I'm scared of maths. In my PhD, I learned a few things about stats and
Oh,
SPSS.
then I think you are absolutely fit for this one.
But I'm very much scared about statistics
No,
and
no, I think you are going to add lot of value here because of your specificity, and we really love to have this heterogeneity, Jayashree. I'm telling it to you.
Oh,
If
thank you,
I
ma'am.
take a poll here, Jayashree, then out of 68 currently available, everybody will say I'm afraid of stat.
We also used to say that when we were learning it. So you
After
want
doing this program, you'll not be afraid of stat.
exactly.
That we can guarantee.
Yeah. Thank you, and thank you, Manisha ma'am, for taking up my question, and thank you, Debashis sir, for answering my question. Thank you, everyone.
We hope to see you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have a query from Rohan. Rohan writes, I'm currently working as a business analyst in real estate sector. I have approximately 3 years of work of experience, which includes 1.5 years before MBA and 1.5 years post MBA. I'm aware about the technical know-hows of data only for the last 1 year. How can I manage to pace up with more experienced people in the batch? That is his query.
That is not a concern, as Pulak has already explained, and we are telling several times that if you are mixing with such a cohort which is heterogeneous, diverse, you'll be learning much more rather than sticking to your specific year back of your age group. So typically, these kind of programs, you will find a very wide diversity from the background side, from the age side, from the experience side, and that helps a lot, the whole cohort, in moving forward. Don't be worried about that. What is his name? Ritik.
Rohan, no?
Rohan. Okay, yeah.
Rohan, yes.
So Rohan, you need not be scared about that you are having less amount of experience. Okay, so you'll be adding probably newer insights to those older guys who did their graduations quite some time back. So you'll be helping them in some areas, and they'll be helping you out on the experience side.
And the Capstone project also helps you to build up your network, because it is in a group project. So I think is that fine? Are there any other?
We have one last query. Do we need any technical language knowledge to do this course?
No.
Asked by Pankaj Sharma.
No, the answer is no.
Right.
Okay.
That's all for the queries.
Okay, so thank you all. Thanks for joining.
Yes.
And we would definitely like to thank Professor Shah and Professor Chakrabarty for actually, rendering a value. I mean, we very well know that how busy you are. You both are in terms of your, regular classes, your full-time classes and everything. Beyond that, you have set aside this time and given a lot of insights to our aspirants who would like to pursue this program. Thank you so much. And thank you all participants for joining in today. We will share the numbers here on the screen. You can note down this number so that you can touch base with our team and further, in case you wish to apply, you can apply quickly. We have very few seats left to be covered up. So the faster you apply, it's better. These are the numbers wherein you can reach out directly to our, senior advisors, and the email ID is also there. Just as we finish the session by this late evening, you'll be receiving a mail also along with the brochure of the program and other details so that you can have the reference material in hand and take a decision upon. We are open on Sundays, so all these numbers will be accessible tomorrow as well. So please feel free. Thank you, Professor Shah. Thank you, Professor Chakrabarty, for your valuable time. And thank you all participants for attending the session today.
Yes. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Everybody.